Hello, I'm so glad to see you here. Welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today we find what feels good in this full body, all level friendly class. If you want to have a block handy, we do find some deep, intense stretches. So go ahead and grab one of those now, as well as your mat. And let's get moving, let's get grooving. We're just finding what feels good in our bodies today in this moment. So let's get started. We begin today in child's pose. Big toes together, forehead down on the mat. Just coming into this practice for a few breaths before we add anything on. Just allowing yourself to release into the mat. Let go of anything that happened earlier today so we can be fully present for this practice. Taking big, deep breaths into the belly. And then raising the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers, and pulling the hands overhead. Just opening up through the chest and the shoulders. Not forcing anything here. Maybe finding a little rock on the forehead to deepen this shoulder opening. One more breath. And then gently release the hands, sending them out in front of you, palms down. Taking the right and threading it underneath the left, coming to lie kind of on the shoulder as much as we can. Reaching the left fingertips forward, opening up through the left side body. Just resting our head down. And then gently lifting up, switching sides, threading the left. Coming into this moment, into the here and now. Exhale, gently press up, unthread the arms. Coming up slightly on top of the knees. Backs of the hands onto the mat, doing a little wrist stretch here. So just leaning as far forward as it feels good, keeping the arms nice and straight. We're just working through the wrists. Maybe rocking side to side if that feels good. Taking any extra movements or leaving some behind to find what feels the best today. One more breath here. Before releasing the hands, palms face down, finding our tabletop position, grounding through the tops of the feet, spreading between the fingers. Inhaling, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow pose. Exhale, round through the back, press away from the mat, creating space in the upper body. Moving with the breath. Waking up the spine, enjoying this sweet forward and backward bending. Beautiful. One more round. Before releasing back into neutral spine, tabletop pose. Extending the right leg out behind onto the ball of the foot, sending that heel back, really reaching back towards the back of the room, feeling the calf wake up, active in the quadriceps, the glutes. Deep breath. Should feel yummy. And then exhale, lift that leg behind, straight. Take one inhale. And exhale, bring the knee in to the nose. Try to crunch. Inhale to straighten. And exhale to crunch it in, rounding through the back. Still gripping with the mat, gripping with the fingers as we round. One more of these. Exhale, round. And then gently take that right leg in front, coming into low lunge. Lifting the chest high. Exhale, send the pelvis down towards the mat. Our knee is over our ankle. We're just taking nice sips of breath here. And then planting that left hand on the inside of the foot, reaching the right up, finding a gentle, beautiful twist. Creating as much length in the arms as we can. And then exhale, sweep that arm around, taking the right foot back to meet the left. We're on the knees here. Lifting the toes, the feet, if that feels good. And then slowly lowering our chest down, nice and strong. Inhale, release the feet, cobra pose, or upward facing dog, whatever suits your fancy. Big breath. And exhale, release, forehead to the mat. Tucking the toes and coming back in onto all fours. Keeping the toes tucked, spreading through the fingers. We're engaging the core, lifting the knees about an inch off the mat. Hover here. Breathe nice and deep. Feel the abdominal activation, rounding through the shoulders a little bit, protracting. Exhale, release the knees. And extend the left leg behind, sending that heel back. To repeat on the other side. Got a noisy squirrel joining us, I guess, today. Deep breaths. And then raising that leg, big inhale. Exhale, crunch, knee to nose. Moving with the breath. Spine nice and long on the inhale. And exhale, round. One more. Before gently taking that left leg up to the top, low lunge. Making sure we take our time to find our positioning first before gently lifting the chest. Reaching up through the crown of the head. Exhale, send the pelvis down. Open up through the hip flexors. Planting the right palm on the mat, twisting, reaching the left up to the sky, finding a nice length, reaching the fingertips up. One more breath here, and exhale to sweep it around, tucking the left toes, the right toes, and coming into plank pose. Slowly taking a vinyasa, hugging the elbows into the sides. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale over the toes, send the hips up, downward facing dog. Maybe take a moment to pedal out the feet first. Finding length in the spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the hands. Gently make our way up to the top of the mat and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extending through the crown, finding length, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Waking up the hamstrings. Synchronizing breath with movement. One more time, forward fold. And then on this inhale, reaching to rise, hands come above the head. And interlace the hands, palms face up. Reach them over to the right, side body stretch. Keeping the chest nice and open. Exhale, over to the left. And releasing those hands, coming into tree pose. So bringing the right foot up, you can have it at the ankle, the shin, or the inner thigh. Wherever we are, finding our balance, grounding through the left foot. Reaching that right knee back to open the hips. Squeeze through the glutes. Feel the energy radiating up through the ground, connecting to your own strength. Hands come to heart center. If we want a little challenge, we can maybe close the eyes to help us stabilize our balance. Deep breaths here. And then on your next inhale, releasing that right leg, slowly and carefully extending it behind, coming into warrior one, pivoting that back foot out to the corner. Inhale, release the arms up high, sinking down into the hips, checking our heel alignment. Deep breath here, rolling the shoulders back, grounding through the back edge of the foot. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bend, sinking a little bit deeper with every exhale. One more. Meeting in warrior one. Exhale, open the arms, warrior two. Pinch the shoulder blades together, gaze over the left hand, nice and strong. Inhale, reach forward, flip the palm to reverse the warrior. Exhale, the left arm finds the knee, reaching the right arm over. Extended side angle. Big breath here, sinking into the hips, opening them up. Reaching that right arm around to find a bind here. So left arm comes underneath the thigh. Try to find the hands and still further open through the chest. So not dumping in over here. If we can't quite reach, that's okay. We can kind of just use our lower back to open. We will get there in due time. Beautiful, holding here. One more deep breath. And gently release the hands, sweep that right arm over, walking that left foot out, coming into lizard pose. Sending that right heel back. We can either be on palms, fingertips, or we can use the block. Breathing nice and deep, gazing forward. Exhale, drop that right knee, reach the left arm back to find the foot, pulling the ankle into the hips. Full body activation here. Nice quadricep release. Exhale, release the foot, come back to the front of the mat, into plank pose. Taking a vinyasa, moving with the breath, coming back to the breath whenever our mind wanders, and making our way up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Length on the inhale, and fold on the exhale. One more beautiful round. And inhale to rise, hands come above the head. This time we'll bend to the left first. And then through center over to the right. And gently releasing, coming into our tree pose, wherever we are today. First, finding our balance, opening through the hips, then taking the hands to heart center, maybe closing the eyes again. Smiling at any wobbles, wiggles, falls. They're all part of the process. 2 more big, deep breaths here. And then inhale, release the left leg, step it back, warrior 1. Nice and strong. Check those heels. 1 big breath here. And then inhale to straighten, exhale to bend the knee. One more time. Meeting in warrior 1, exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach forward and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, windmilling around, extended side angle, reaching that left arm overhead. Nice, beautiful long line from fingertips to the edge of the foot. And then taking our bind, left arm comes behind, tries to find the right hand. Taking our gaze up if that feels okay. Breathing nice and deep, releasing any tension in the shoulders. And exhale, windmill that left arm around, scooting that foot over, finding our lizard, reaching the left heel back, back, back. Deep, long, slow, steady breaths. Exhale, drop the left knee, reach that right arm back, finding the foot, pulling that guy into the hips. Exhale, lovingly release the foot, finding our way to plank pose, holding here, and pivoting the toes to the right side, reaching that right arm up, side plank, send the hips up, don't let them fall down. Nice strong core here. Whenever you feel ready, taking the top leg, toes to the knee, then extending it long, trying to find the big toe. Holding here. Bending the knee, coming into a low lunge. Inhale, arms up, and exhale to heart center. Left elbow finds the outside of the right knee, finding a little twist. And then coming back to center, sending the hips back, half splits. Right foot is flexed. Inhale, find length in the spine. And exhale, walk the fingertips down. Inhale, come back into low lunge. And exhale, half splits. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back into our low lunge to tuck the back foot. Make our way into plank pose to do the other side. Pivoting those feet, reaching the left arm up high, hips up too. Stacking the feet, gripping through the mat, raising the left leg, trying to find the big toe with peace fingers, extending it long, opening through the hips. Then bending the knee and coming into a low lunge. Arms up and exhale. Finding our twist. Slowing down the breath a little bit here, taking a moment to check in with how you're feeling so far. And then coming back to low lunge. Exhale, half splits, send the hips back, flex the left foot. Length, and then fold. One more breath here before coming back to low lunge, and then sending the hips back. Moving with the breath. Coming back into low lunge, releasing the hands if they floated up. Coming onto the knees, widening them, big toes together. Sending the hips back, child's pose, walking the hands out, melting the heart down. Releasing tension in the shoulders, the arms, the hips, just taking a moment to rest in between. Deep belly breaths, slowing the heart rate down, slowing the breathing down. Gently coming up, crossing the feet at the ankles, coming onto our seat. Keeping this left leg underneath and taking the right shin up, kind of cradling it, opening through the hip. We can find little side to side movements here, maybe a static cradle. You can always extend the leg if that is more accessible for you. And if this is not accessible at all, you can always cross in front and reach forward. So many different ways to move and groove. Exhale to release, switching sides, finding whatever variation suits your body, your practice, whatever feels good. That's what we're all about here, feeling good, not causing pain mentally or physically. Beautiful. Release. Come down onto the back. Soles of the feet on the mat. Palms on the mat as well. Feet hip distance apart. Exhale. Press through everything. Send the hips up. Bridge pose. Squeezing through the glutes. Hold, hold, hold. Maybe send them up a little bit higher. Exhale, release, taking the knees into the chest, finding a little lower back relief. And then separating the knees, letting the right fall down, left as well. But our feet are basically like this. Our foot is kind of touching our knee. Or whatever other twist variation you like. Maybe you keep the knees together. Breathing. Surrendering to the mat, to the support. And coming back through center to switch sides, whatever little twist you've taken. Finding some stillness after the hustle and bustle, some calm after the movement. Coming back through center, making our way into happy baby, pressing the lower back down into the mat, reaching for the feet or the ankles, and just letting the hips open. Taking nice deep breaths. Just coming back into the body, quieting the mind for these precious few last minutes. And we can gently release the feet, extending the legs long, reaching the arms up above the head. One last little stretch. Inhale, squeeze everything. And exhale, release. Arms come by the sides, palms facing up. And we just take a few moments to let this practice sink in, all of the goodness we found. Slightly opening the mouth, maybe separating the teeth, relaxing the jaw, releasing tension in the forehead and in the shoulders. Melting downwards, allowing all of your weight to press into the mat. There's no need to move right now. We can gently wiggle the fingers and toes. Start coming back into the body, wiggling around a little bit. Whatever movements help you gently wake up. We can roll to one side, gently finding a seat. Where I thank you so much for joining me in this practice today and finding what feels good in your body, opening up, exploring around, maybe even having a little bit of fun. I look forward to practicing with you again very soon. Namaste.